What is up, everyone? Welcome to Reality Room Podcast with Paul,
And Dave.
bringing you the latest on Survivor Ghost Island. Okay, guys, so we're doing a cast analysis. They were just released, I believe, about a week ago, and we got some. Looks like we got some pretty interesting people on this list so far. So, Dave, what were some of your first impressions, or maybe expectations? Because we know this is a Ghost Island season, a lot of remnants from the past. So, thoughts?
My thoughts was whenever the cast got revealed is how many super fans there's going to be.
Mm,
Because the fact that this whole season's all about the past seasons, they already have the advantage. And I
yeah,
want to
that's
see how many
absolutely
of these
true.
I mean, super fans would have an advantage in any season, but this season more so. It seems like they're way ahead.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly right. And I did notice an abundance of super fans this season. Like a lot of people said, yeah, I watched the show a long time. It almost feels. I mean, I don't think everyone was a super fan, but a lot of people when they reference players that they were similar to, a lot of them referenced players from like older seasons, and some of them did people from Millennials versus Gen X, obviously because that was the latest season that they saw at the time. But a lot of them said older contestants, and that's kind of shows that people that are on this season have a greater familiarity with the show, which almost makes it like a fan season to me. But I know not everyone is quite there yet. But anyway, let's just jump right in. All right.
Let's do it.
So yeah, so this is our Survivor Ghost Island cast analysis. All right, so let's start with our first contestant. We're breaking it down by tribes. So we're going to do the first tribe first and the second tribe next. So our first person is Angela Perkins. Okay, so Angela's 42. She's from Cincinnati, Ohio. She's an Army vet, mother, strong, outspoken, aggressive. She was from the Psychological Operations Battalion. She was in Afghanistan. I mean, she seems fairly interesting to me. What was your thought process on her? She's go ahead.
My thought was like, okay, like over 21 years in the Army, like all the different deployments that she's been on, and all like the psychological operations unit. I never knew that was a thing, but that clearly seems like that's good for here. It's like basically she's geared towards the physical element of the show and the social element. And like when I watched her bio, like with you, it was like I just feel like she's gonna be a pretty strong force to be reckoned with. Like she's either gonna like get it very far, or they're gonna get smart and take her out immediately.
Yeah,
Which is
absolutely.
what I
And
feel like. I feel like if they don't take her out immediately, I feel like everybody else is screwed.
I mean, it's definitely a possibility. She'll be very strong in challenges for sure. I see Patty's in the chat. Hey, Patty, how you doing? She says her winner pick is Dominic Abetz. So, interesting choice. And when we get to him, we'll give our impression of him as well. But yeah, interesting pick. All right. So yeah, I mean, with Angela, she's strong-willed, physical, leader capability. And one thing that I found interesting is that she said when she was in Afghanistan, she used to like influence the local elders. Like that was part of her job. So if she's able to influence people just based on like people from another country that she barely even knows, I think she might be able to implement some of that in gameplay. And also those local elders are expecting to be influenced, because it's in a war setting. So the expectation also exists in Survivor to be influenced. So I think she has like a good background there. What do you think?
Plus, you have to keep in mind, like in her video, she kept on saying how one of her last deployments, if not her actual last deployment, she was with all people that she didn't even know.
Mm-hmm.
And she says that this is to her feels like a similar experience because she doesn't know who's going to be her ally, who's not going to be.
Absolutely.
And the fact that, yeah, I mean, she could easily take up a leadership role. And some of those things that we were reading about how the tribes are going to work, the tribes actually have to have a leader who's going to decide some of the stuff in the beginning of the game. So
that's very true, and maybe she'll be the one that they pick. I'm not sure what they'll be basing that on, but
none of us know that yet. But
It is what it is. All right, so now let's get into our second person from the Navidi tribe. If I'm pronouncing that right, I hope I am.
We'll find out.
Got yeah, we'll find out in a few weeks, or someone in the chat or comments after will let us know. We have Bradley Clayhege. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. He's 26. He's from he lives in Los Angeles, California, as a law student. He says he's persuasive. He's cold, a little flippant. He says he gets along well with smart people and not so much
his pet peeve was not want to deal with. Yeah, his pet peeve was like he doesn't want to. Yeah, exactly what you said.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when I watched his little 2-minute interview, he reminded me a lot of Spencer from Survivor 28. And what was fairly interesting is that he also described himself as Spencer when I looked at his Q&A questions. I was like, okay, so he's self-aware on like where he is. Not liking simple people, I feel like, is going to be difficult because not everyone's intelligent. Not everyone has that like level head. He says he's going to try to work on that. He also says he likes roasting people. Dave, what do you think? Do you think roasting people is a good quality for this game?
It depends on who you roast and how you roast them. Like that's basically it. If someone's got a sense of humor and they can take the joke, maybe. He wants to do it in like a funny way, and he wants to like just try to like roast people to be comic relief.
Mm-hmm.
I really honestly don't even know how the hell that's going to go.
Absolutely. And Patty says in the chat that he sounds too cocky, and I tend to agree.
I agree with that completely.
Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, he also has some athletic sides to him. He does sailing, skiing, and running. So he's not only just an egghead, like doing his law degree. He's also very physical as well. I mean, so you have. It's not just going to be like a one-trick pony with him. I mean, a lot of people said that they were the triple threats this season. He didn't play. He didn't say that. But yeah, we got triple.
His whole video focused mostly on like, hey, this is how I'm going to play socially. Which, like, watching that right after watching Angela's video, it was like, okay, like we have someone who could. Angela's like one of the people where I'd say was like a triple threat. This kid coming in, it's like that's the thing. He's this kid coming in who's just like a little too cocky. I mean, we'll see. I mean, surrounding himself by smart people, though. The thing I have to admit, though, is like if he's surrounding himself by smart people, is it like that he considers himself smart, or he just wants to surround himself by people that are like better? Because I mean,
no, he considers himself smart.
True, but I wonder how smart of a statement that kind of is, because it's like you're playing Survivor. You're surrounding yourself. You're surrounding yourself with smart people. It's like they're going to try to manipulate you too.
Absolutely. And he one thing that I thought was a little contradictory was that he says that everyone has positive traits you can draw from, but he also says that he doesn't get along well with simple people. So I'm like, I don't know if he really believes that deep down.
See, my take on that is you can view the world one way, but then you can view yourself another way. And it's like He might view the world in that scenario, but he might be like, well, just because I think the world is that way doesn't mean that I want to surround myself with that type of people.
All right, that's fair. I mean, I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna make it that far. Patty in the chat just said pre-jury. I think if he rubs the wrong people, if he rubs people the wrong way, which he could, he probably will be pre-jury. If not, I can see some of his like intelligence coming in handy for like some puzzle challenges. So he might make that argument, but we'll see what happens.
I could also see him being in part of like a more dominant alliance that's willing to prey on the weak people. You know what I mean? Like a bully alliance per se.
Yeah, I can see that too. Like I can see that in a heartbeat.
If he makes it into like what I'm going to now dub a bully alliance, I think he can make it to jury, but I can't see this kid winning. If he doesn't make it into that type of alliance, he's out pre-jury.
Absolutely. All right, let's get into our next contestant. We have Chelsea Townsend. So she's 24 or 25. So we have conflicting information here.
She's in her mid-20s.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
She's probably 25 because that's the latest thing. Anyway, she's in Los Angeles, California. She's a professional dancer. Also does EMT. Uh, Dave, that's good for you. So she's
Yes.
cheerleading, dancing, fun, energetic, loyal. Very loves her family a lot. She calls herself the person you never saw coming. Thoughts?
It's another bold statement that's just like someone who's over evaluating themselves, possibly, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the fact that she keeps on in her video, she kept on bringing up, "I'm a dancer, I'm a dancer, I'm a dancer." But I mean, that's just gonna help you physically. She said like that helps her like socially because she has to go out and meet new people, new locations, stuff like that. So I think we'll see how far that takes her.
I think dancing is very good for physical strength. So she definitely has a lot of physical capability because to dance professionally, you have to have a lot. You basically have to be fit, otherwise you won't make the cut. Essentially, so I
Yeah,
feel
like
like
she's got to have a lot of stamina. I think she'll do. I think she's got enough stamina to handle endurance competitions.
right.
That's how I feel.
So if she makes it past jury, I feel like she will do well in those types of challenges. I mean, many in the past have.
I kind of feel like she's a wild card. Like I can't place her. I feel like she's either gonna. I feel like she's either gonna bomb or she's gonna make it far. I don't think there's gonna be an in between.
Right, she'll either be really early or make it like final six. But
yeah, that's what I'm thinking with her.
Patty says pre-jury. I don't know. It's possible.
Or maybe she'll be the person we didn't see coming.
There will be a lot of people in. There will be a lot of people in pre-jury this time because there are 20 contestants. So
very, very true.
And we'll have tribe swap as well. Probably multiple tribe swaps. We'll probably go from a 2 to 3 at some point. So some people will probably get screwed by that. But anyway, let's jump into our next contestant. All right, looks like we have Chris Noble. Let's talk a little bit about him. He's 27, Brooklyn, New York. He was a personal trainer and now he's a model. He does a lot of like high-end modeling jobs. Says he's a type A personality, very athletic. Says he understands it's more of a social game rather than a physical game because he looks like a very fit guy. Like we're looking at his picture here, like he looks very fit. Could probably do very well in challenges. But to know that it's understand that it's a lot of social game is very important.
That was like whenever he said that after he kept on going on about the modeling, I was like, okay, I like this guy now because he understands that, and I feel like that's something that a lot of people forget about sometimes. So
he said,
we'll see, but
you think he said that his hero is his mom? This was the one whose mother had multiple sclerosis, so he's trying to raise awareness for that disease. So he has a story that he can bring to the Survivor table, and we all know that stories are extremely important when it comes to Survivor.
Exactly, and that's the other thing with him too is like he's basically the fact that not knowing whether or not his mom is going to live or die, he claims that helps his mental strength, which I 100% agree with. So that should probably help keep have him keep a level head a little bit more so than most of the contestants.
Absolutely, I think he'll make it decently far. That's just my personal opinion.
Same.
Him having, go ahead. Oh, same. You said
no, same. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, he's interesting. I like him. I'm not usually like fans of like the modelly types, but he seems unique.
Yeah, he seems like he has a bit more depth to him. But then again, we have a story.
Yeah, and it is that mental toughness. So we do have like a little background. All right. But yeah, well, I think he'll make it pretty far. He's not my pick to win or anything. By the way, make sure you have your pick to win, Dave, by the end of this. We pick a guy and a girl.
Gotcha. All right. We'll figure it out.
I mean, I have my picks. All right, so let's get into our next contestant. Do you know who they are? Let's get our next contestant is Desiree Afuye. I'm probably butchering that last name. She's 21, Brooklyn, New York, student. She says that she was homeless for a few months at one point in her life. So she says she's had that experience and she got through it. She says that she talks a lot about the social game. She says that she sees herself as being similar to Suri, which I'm not sure. We'll have to see a little bit more of her. I didn't really get that vibe from her, but maybe we'll see it. I think she's a little more. I just didn't see her as Suri, but maybe people disagree. She says she has a, and we've seen this be trouble for so many people in the past. The resting bitch face. Dave, what are your thoughts on the resting bitch face? Like wearing your emotions on your face. Do you think that's good for Survivor?
No, because the problem with resting bitch face is it's not your actual emotions, but it just gives the bad vibe. It's literally just bad body language that contradicts how you actually feel. And that's going to be a huge flaw, in addition to the fact that she seems very immature. Again, from watching her video, she was just way too cocky. I can handle this, I can handle that. It's like, but you don't have enough basis. It's like, I get the homeless thing, like it makes you like an actual survivor in a way, but the social game, like we know, like with the other guy we just talked about. I'm sorry, I'm bad with the names. The season has not started yet, but the other person we just talked about who understands that there was a social game with this. I feel like she doesn't. Yes, Chris. I feel like he doesn't. I feel like she doesn't fully understand how the social game is going to work.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. Another issue I have with her is that she says she likes debating. That's not something. And so if she brings that to the table in Survivor, I mean, I'm sure it'll be entertaining, like to watch like arguments with people.
But it'll be like entertaining for like the first 4 or 5 episodes until she's gone.
Right, exactly. She's gonna debate herself right into right into being voted out.
Yeah, I mean, like she doesn't necessarily have to have an agreeable personality, but it's, I don't know. And the fact that she's pretty young, I think she was like 21. I mean, most contestants are pretty like young, in my opinion, but
Patty in the chat says
too immature.
I agree. Patty in the chat says that she has a Michaela vibe. I don't see the Michaela vibe. I mean the resting bitch face for sure. I don't know if she's going to be as physically tough as Michaela is. I mean, we'll find out in a few weeks. Like Michaela is my girl. She's great. Like she's awesome. But she does have a similar issue with wearing her emotions on her face. But I don't know if she's that kind of she has that kind of physical strength, Desiree. I mean, all right, let's jump into our next contestant. All right. Well, how far do you think she's gonna get? I don't think she's gonna get far.
I think she's easily pre-jury. I feel like she might just make the cut off the pre-jury. Like that's like as far as I think she could go.
Fair enough. All right, now let's get to our next contestant. All right, we got a boy, Dominic Bates. This is Patty's winner from the chat. Let's talk a little bit about him. Oh, right, I remember him. I liked him a lot. All right, so he's 38. He's from Wisconsin, New York, I believe that was. And then he's a construction supervisor. He says he lost 70 pounds in the past couple of years. Says he loves his family. He's self-aware, but he also says he tends to be irritable at times. So he thinks he might have situations in the game where if he's too hungry, he might like lash out at people.
But that's still being self-aware of it.
This is the guy that talked about being creative, coming up with like new ways that really appreciated like Tony's spy shack.
He said he wanted to steal something from like the tribal councils, like just like artifacts and stuff.
He's gonna be fun to watch.
Oh,
that's
100%.
My impression. If he's anything like Tony, and he described himself as 4 people, and I'm gonna break it down.
But one thing though, if I'm correct, did he also say, was he the one who also said that he didn't like fake people as well?
Yes.
Oh my God, yeah. He's basically looking for confrontation, which is just great for television.
I know he's great, and he's gonna be. Yeah, Patty just said he's like Tony and Tyson and Rod. Exactly. That's exactly the mindset that I get from him. I get Tony and I get a little Rob Mariano. And he actually says 3 people that he's similar to. He says he's like Sari, which I don't see. He says he's like Cochran, which what? No, you're not Cochran. But he also says Rob Mariano, and I completely agree with his assessment that he's kind of similar to Rob, and I could definitely see that. And he said in his 2-minute interview that he liked Tony a lot. But this is one funny thing he says. He says out of one of the things he wants to bring an antihistamine to put in someone's drink if they are annoying him.
This is why he's great. We'll see what happens. I feel like he's gonna make it. I feel like he's gonna make it really far. I don't know if he'll win, but he'll make it far.
Listen, I mean, it depends if his personality gets in the way. I mean, he could easily be an early boot if he pisses the wrong people off, but he can also go extremely far if he has that type of loyal people. But he's loud, outspoken. He'll fight for his life in this game.
Not for nothing. I mean, I'm just saying it because I'm just coming off of the last season, but he kind of reminds me of Joe.
Yeah, a little bit. He's a little kind of like Joe in that way. Patty just says that he's a villain in the chat, and I think that's a good way.
I see that 100%.
That's a good way to put it. All right, let's go into our next contestant. We have Kellen Bechtold. Again, if I'm pronouncing a name wrong, well, it happens.
It is what it is.
She's 31 from Denver, Colorado. She's a career counselor. She says she's empathetic, and she wants to utilize people's vulnerability by making them feel comfortable. I think that was a rather interesting statement that she made. What are your thoughts?
That was a very specific, very sinister statement. I love it.
Right. Well, I took 2 things that she said and basically just put them in one thing. Yeah, but that's basically what she said in both.
That's essentially what she said, and it's actually brilliant because it's like you make them feel comfortable. It's like, oh, okay, like you just work for me now. You do whatever I tell you to do, or you just trust me like blindly. It'll work.
She says that. I got the vibe that she was like a very millennial type of person. Although
I'm sorry, but also to like go on along with the comfortability, especially in Survivor, people still want to have some comfort. So if she can make them feel the comfortability around them, yeah, her plan will work.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you're right about that. If she can implement that correctly, I think that would be a very good tool for her. I saw her more as like an average player. I don't know what direction she's going to go. Really, I mean, she says she can do it, but she says she hasn't really done that in the past. She has a bubbly personality. She looks like she does yoga, meditation. Autocorrect.
Right.
On the phone and the verbiage. She described herself as Aubrey Bracco and Kelly Wentworth, which, if that's the case, I'm very excited. If that's the case, people say things all the time. I don't know.
Everyone says everything all the time, especially like all these cast videos where half of them say, I'm a triple threat. It's like, come on.
Triple threat's a good reason to get you to go home.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if she's going to make it far, I want her to make it far because I feel like she's interesting. She says she does MMA fighting. I mean, that's just I think she likes to do spontaneous things. So I think she's an interesting person. I don't know if she's going to make it far. I think she might
definitely give her it'll definitely help her with the physical and the endurance stuff. So,
I expect her to make jury, but I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't. But my expectation is there, but only based on the things that she said. All right. What do you think the same thing basically, or?
Pretty much. I mean, like the things that she says, she's talking good, but it's like, can she actually do it? We don't know.
Right. All right, let's go into our next contestant. Patty says, "Me too, but I doubt she's pre-jury." I don't know. We'll see. Next is Morgan Rick. She's 29, Orlando, Florida. She's a killer whale and pilot whale trainer. I think she said she was training to do that. She knew she wanted to do that like when she was a
When
kid.
she was like 4 years old, I think she said.
Yeah, absolutely. I think she's cool. Honestly, she's very athletic, swimming her whole life. She says she talks too loud, which could get on some people's nerves. And I'm not 100% sure how that's gonna, come about.
It's something we'll have to see. I think it's one of those things that could be. No one said that like loud people were a pet peeve. So
True.
that's
Good
the
point.
that's the only way I could see it, because it's like you'd have to have a pet peeve against loud people, and Survivor, it's like that's like the least of your concerns.
She says her pet peeves are feet. Could be
Yeah, that's
dealing
just
with a
freaking
lot of
weird.
feet on. Could be dealing with a lot of feet, unfortunately. Cold weather, so better hope it doesn't rain too much there.
What was the third one?
No, the no ketchup. If she doesn't,
Oh yeah, like she gets mad if there's no ketchup around, which is just like. But by this point, like by the time she made the video, she was probably already pissed off.
I mean, I guess, like it's supposed to be a joke. I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't know, but the problem is like people do get mad over food, so.
Morgan, explain it to us. Let us know what you mean. What do you mean by do you love ketchup that much?
Yeah, let us know as you donate to our Patreon. We have a Patreon, everybody. Please donate. Hashtag random plug.
Patreon and the link down below. Okay, I thought Mike's segue was weird and 2 videos ago. Anyway, she says she's like a girly, athletic type, which I see. I see that. I see it.
Yeah, I mean, if not for nothing, if you're training with killer whales, you kind of have to have some sort of that like athletic ability.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely. She described herself as like a Kelly Wentworth type too, which I love Kelly Wentworth. Like she's one of my favorite Survivor contestants ever personally in the seasons that I saw her. Well, the 2 seasons that you were in. But anyway, so if she's anything like Kelly, I will be very happy. So I hope she does go far. Thoughts?
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. I think she will be. I think she will get to the merge. Personally,
Probably.
all right. Let's make it to our next contestant. We have our boy Sebastian Noel, or I guess Noel. So he's 22. Yeah, why not? He's 22 from Satellite Beach, Florida. He's a fisherman. He was interesting. I did not really like him that much. He says that he acknowledges that he's still a kid, but he wants to stay that way forever. Now, my first impression when he said that was, oh, he understands he's still a kid, so he has a lot of growing to do. No, that's not what he meant at all. What he actually meant was, I'm still a kid. I want to stay this way. What? Why? Thoughts?
He's just another immature kid who's just gonna get himself out pre-jury. That's it. It's like he'll catch up. Like the only way he's gonna stay is if he keeps catching everybody fish and starts cooking it. You know, that's it.
He says he's a super fan, outgoing.
The entire way he acted in this video did not display he's a super fan. It just displayed, I'm a kid. I watch this TV show. I don't really know what I'm doing.
He says he likes to be liked, so he's a people pleaser, which could work to his advantage, I guess.
People pleaser, plus he catches fish. Like I said, he's a provider.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Maybe they'll keep her around just to provide. Maybe he won't go
Yep.
pre-jury. I don't know.
I'm trying to be
That's I
optimistic about
wasn't
this pre-jury kid.
I wasn't thinking along those lines, but good point. He says that the contestant he's most like is Tyson. I don't really see it. I mean, maybe I don't know. Probably, I don't think you're like Tyson. I just don't. He also says that he will make the wrong friends. I think you're the one that told me that. What do you
Yeah,
think that means?
it means that you can't trust yourself. It's like if you think you're gonna make the wrong friends, it's just you being like, hey, I don't know what I do. I just let it happen. I don't know. It's like I just look at it.
I just make the wrong friends.
I mean, I have this scary feeling that he's just a bad casting choice. I'm sorry. I just don't even. I don't think
No,
he's good.
I think he'll be fun to watch, but
Maybe he'll be fun to watch for like the first 2, 3 episodes. Watch this kid go
uh,
far and watch him win the
Petty
whole
says
show.
this guy is a Vince from Worlds Apart, goofy as hell. I agree 100% with that. That that's the
I don't
best.
know.
That's a good way to put it.
I think he's just too goofy for this. But I mean, who knows? I could be totally wrong.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right,
I
so
don't
let's
think I
go.
am though.
Well, do we ever? Let's go with our next contestant. All right, this is the last member of the what was it, the Naliki tribe, something along those lines. But this guy is
Yeah.
Wendell Holland. He is 33 years old. He's from Philly. He makes furniture for a reason. I thought he was quite interesting. He says he's a super fan. Basically doing this. One of the reasons he's doing this is to challenge himself.
Okay.
Says he says he's a leader. And that he's kind of, so to me that means like he's a very vocal guy. So I think he might have a rough time dealing with some of the other like leader types in the tribe. But like, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna have to see. I mean, I don't like you said, like when dealing with the other leader types in the tribe, like Angel, for example. It's like I don't think he's gonna have an easy time with dealing with her if he wants to control. I feel like he could already make an enemy right then and there, but the whole leader role thing, I don't know.
I think
He's either gonna have to like step up and keep fighting for that leader role, or he's gonna have to back down and stay back down. And
he
if
said
he's
that
back, and
he said that he might trash talk people. I mean, I don't know if that's going to be.
that's gonna hurt him even more. Like if he tries to go for a leader role, backs down, trash talks, loses the leader role that he's got, he's literally just making him. He's building up a resume for bad.
So he said he's witty, intelligent, competitive, and these are good traits to have. I liked his personality in the video. He seemed like an interesting person. I just the trash talk and the leader thing. I think he's gonna butt heads with some people. He says that
Absolutely.
he's most similar to Jeremy from Blood versus Water and a couple of other seasons. Well, the one that he won. And if he is like Jeremy, I can see him doing well. But if he's like Jeremy the first time around, maybe he'll make it far and then get out. I mean, I don't know what to expect. Dave?
I, I don't know. I honestly don't have any further opinions about him. He's someone I'm going to keep an eye on because I want to see like exactly how he's going to go for this. Like if
Right.
he wants, like if he could take charge and be a leader, cool. But I feel like saying you're the leader type is probably, I think that's probably one of the most dangerous things you could say.
Exactly. I mean, as long as he doesn't say that to his tribe, I think he'll be okay.
Yeah,
But
no, if he says it to us, like he could say whatever. But it's like if he starts saying that to his tribe and he starts acting like that towards his tribe, then I think he, I think he could be in a tough spot. or he
Yeah,
could
I
pull it
think so
off.
too.
It's one of the two. But I feel like the
Right.
leaders kind of get turned on.
Right. If that's absolutely true. The leaders always get turned on. So I mean, and that could happen like after a pre-jury situation. Like maybe he could lead an alliance and then get backstabbed. That's
Yeah, but
possible
then again,
too.
you could win. Look at Ben.
Sure, but yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. Fair enough. Good point.
yeah.
Good point. All right. Now we're gonna go to the Malolo tribe.
The one that we can pronounce.
I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. Let's go with
Malolo? That
our
sounds pretty
first.
accurate. I'm going to keep saying Malolo. It's fun to say.
Patty says he be a Jeremy from his first season. He'll go far, but won't make final three. Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. So this is Brendan Shapiro. He's from Herndon. I might be butchering that. Virginia. He's a
Virginia.
teacher. Yeah, I know how to say. I know how to pronounce Virginia. And he's a teacher. I mean, he says he wants to compete. He says he's good at reading people. He knows people have different needs, and he like wants to cater to those needs. I think that's an important social aspect.
I think he's a. I think he's gonna have good social game because of that. If he's a teacher, he does have to cater to different needs, and he does have to be able to to read people. So providing he's a good teacher, he'll be able to use those qualities to then manipulate the other people in the tribe.
Yeah, I think he is like a leader type. He says he doesn't like bullying. So if he sees like bullying, he probably won't stand for it, or he'll like make a stand.
So if that other kid starts roasting people, he's gonna start fighting this other kid if they both make it to merge together.
Right. Yeah. Exactly right. I mean, they're on different tribes, but once merge comes along, or there's a tribe switch, which there likely will be, because when hasn't there been a tribe switch in the past however many seasons?
Exactly.
He'll likely have to talk that person down or teach him a lesson.
Exactly.
He says he says he doesn't like passive aggressive people. He also doesn't like crybabies. So
Fair.
I mean,
In other
it is.
words, he might unintentionally prey on the weak. In terms of the crybaby part.
I don't think he'll do well with any like sarcastic people. So I probably wouldn't get along with him on a personal level because I'm extremely sarcastic.
But yeah, I could definitely see him as a leader type easily.
Absolutely. Says he describes himself as being Jeremy as well, and he also sees himself as being like a Tom Westman type. I can see Tom for sure. I thought this was great. His reason on being on Survivor is to win. Duh. I mean, so many people say, "Oh, like personal growth or whatever to challenge myself," but really, the end result is really what counts. You
Pretty
can
much.
have those fleeting feelings, like after the show. It can be like that. The experience gave me this, but
Which is what
ultimately,
you have to. Like if you're not winning the show, all you have is your experience. Like let's be honest here. So like you just have to focus on that. It's like unless you win the show, it's like my
exactly.
experience was great, which maybe it was, and good for you. But I mean, that's all I got. So the fact that he actually straight up said to win was great.
Yeah, exactly. Like your experience, like you should want that should be your goal coming in is to win. That should be your reason to be on Survivor, not because you're a super fan or anything. Your reason should be to win $1 million.
Yeah, super
And if
fan is
you
just an
100
advantage as far as I'm concerned.
exactly, it's just like okay, I know to look for idols. I know there could be an idol at like a challenge or something. I know there could be idols hidden in X, Y, and Z. It's just a knowledge of the game. I know what tribe swap might be coming or what kind of challenges to expect, but to just to say, oh, I want the experience of Survivor is enough to just say you want to win. That's the reason, and that's what I like about this guy. I think he'll make it far. Personally, I think he'll make it far. All right, let's go
Same,
to our
honestly.
let's go to our next contestant, Donathan Hurley. He is from Kemper. He's 26 and he's from Kemper, Kentucky. He says he came out as being gay very early in his life, in a very conservative location. So he says I was pretty. He says it was a little rough on him. To
Yeah, he
have
said
to
like
do it
it
like that.
caused him like years of bullying and all that.
Yeah, and because of that, he has like this mindset that he doesn't care what people think about him.
Yeah, I honestly think he's gonna kind of. I think that's actually gonna help him a lot. Actually, uh, good for him, but it's also unfortunate that that's gonna help him. But the point is, it's like okay, like if he came out in a very conservative area, he kind of had to deal with survivor-like aspects in a way. If you think about it,
Yeah, exactly.
because
Like,
his social life is obviously affected, and just having to deal with people bullying him and whatever else.
he's dealt with hardships, so he's used to that on like a mental level
Exactly. So I
and a
mean, I think
social
what it'll
level.
be, I think his mental and social endurance, I think, will be good. We just don't know much about him physically. Man, he did a couple cartwheels and stuff like that, flips, but
Right.
that
He
doesn't
says
really
he's
mean too much.
outdoorsy, but like he's outdoorsy based on his location. So he like goes out or whatever in the area.
Yeah, he's in a more rural area, so we'll see what happens on that. But I think socially, I don't think he'll be too bad.
He relates himself to Suri, which it's possible. Although I don't see him as like the getting off the couch type of person in that way. But maybe in a social kind of way. It says he's charming but manipulative. So if we do see that aspect, I think that'll be rather good.
We'll find out.
Yeah, charming but manipulative. It's really good traits that you want to have in Survivor.
And it's a good
I think.
combination too.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if he's gonna make it that far. I would like him to, but I can't
I
be
have this
confident.
I have this weird feeling, like I don't have anything to base it on. I just have a feeling he's gonna at least make it to merge.
Mm, I don't know.
I don't know. We'll
I
find out. But it's
I
just
want him to,
sort of wild. I
but
mean, maybe that's why I'm saying that. But I have this feeling he's gonna be better than we give him credit for.
well, I hope you're right about that.
It's
Patty
just a
says
feeling that
Patty says she thinks he's gonna be pre-jury. Sadly, well, I don't know. Maybe that's what I'm thinking too. At least at this very moment, that could very well change in a few weeks when we start watching. But I don't
exactly
know. I hope he doesn't disappoint us. Let's go into
same.
our next contestant. Oh, I liked him. Jacob Derwin. He's 22 years old. He's from Brooklyn, New York. He's a music teacher. What I found interesting about him was that he said that he lived a mostly like isolated life, and that when he started going to like school or whatnot, that he had to like teach himself to be social. And because of that, he says that he thinks he has like a better understanding of like how to socialize with people because he had to teach himself. So I guess he has like rules or whatnot. What do you think?
It depends on what he taught himself, and that's something. That's why I want to watch him, just because like it seems like a unique experiment as a person to like socially teach yourself how to interact.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you do have to like learn how to interact with people on your own, but it's like I'm gonna assume he did it at a later age, so he was really probably more critical of how he interacted with people. So, yeah, I don't know. It's like he'll be interesting to watch. I don't know where he's gonna end up or where he's gonna go, like because he could still be like really socially awkward in the end.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But no, I do think he passed that barrier. I mean, I like to think he did. I
I
can't be
mean, he
confident,
might.
but
I think he passed the barrier of hey, I'm no longer an introvert, but I don't know if he passed the socially awkward one because I mean you could still again socially awkward people could be social. They don't fit in.
yeah, I I get the feeling because like when you go throughout life, and when you're talking to people, you're
Getting
constantly
deep now.
learning. What's that?
Getting deep now.
Yeah, I mean, you're constantly learning like how to socialize. So I thought maybe the way he put it was a little bizarre, but that he says he had to
Like I
learn
said,
teach
socially
himself later in
awkward.
life. Yeah, yeah, maybe it's looking a little differently to me now because I feel like everyone teaches himself how to talk to people. I mean, that's just the
And
way
that's the whole
people
thing.
are.
If he could teach himself how to be social, maybe I don't know how long it took him, but if he could do that and quickly adapt, maybe he could teach himself how to be social within Survivor.
Patty says that he blogs on Redmond Inside Survivor, so he's a super fan.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. He's definitely a super fan. Um,
so he'll be able to adapt
he
quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. He also says that he's a gamer, uh, so he's inside a lot. He says that he lost 30 pounds in preparation for this
Good
season.
for him.
And he did so just to see how it would feel like to lose a lot of weight, like in a short amount of time. And he says it was very like a difficult thing to do.
So
And I was like,
there's a
okay, well,
trend that I'm noticing with him is that he's willing to experiment on himself to see what happens.
yeah,
Losing
he's
the
like a
weight
risk taker.
and the social thing. Yeah, he's well, I wouldn't even say a risk taker. It's more like he's willing just to experiment and see like what results he's going to get
I
for
found him to
himself and
be
his own sake as a person.
I found him to be similar to Cochrane. Because he also says he has a self-deprecating sense of humor, and Cochrane a lot of times use self-deprecating senses of humor. He described himself as Fishback, which I can also see like the Fishback comparison there. He says he's a funny guy. He gets mad at people if they don't like have a sense of humor.
So he might get along with the kid who likes to roast people.
Yeah, but again, different tribes, so maybe they're both still there for sure.
Yep.
If the
Swamps.
guy that roasts if the guy that roasts people doesn't get out early for roasting people.
That's true. Because I'm sure
Uh,
they'd
he,
love to be each other.
he also describes himself as a teddy bear. Aw.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's got the look. I'd probably say that with anyone who's kind of husky with a beard, because Santa Claus.
Yeah,
So
I think he's gonna go pretty far into the game, and I'm rather confident that he is. If he gets past like the socially like the lack of physical strength that a lot of contestants kind of fall into. So if he gets past that trap early on, I think he can go really, really far.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, I can't disagree with that. I mean, yeah, I can't
You
disagree with that.
can,
I mean, he
you
could also
can,
just
but
go
it
out
sounds
like the
right.
first week, like anybody
That's what I
else.
was
But
saying. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he has like a lot of people go home early because of the lack of physical strength. I'm saying he can be like a first or second boot, or he can basically make it very, very far. I think he can make it to the end, personally.
I think
All
he's
right,
got
let's.
potential.
I think he's got great potential. All right, let's go into our next contestant. We have our boy James Lynn. He is 24 years old. He's from New York, New York. He is a consultant. He was born in the United States, but he grew up most of his life in Korea. That would be South Korea, obviously. He
Well,
says he was a he says he
I
was a
mean, this is
sprinter.
Survivor, not that kind of Survivor.
Right? Yeah. It's not like that guy from the from the State of the Union who escaped North Korea. God bless that guy. But yeah, back to James. So he grew up in Korea. He says he was a sprinter, so he has good physical capabilities. Has a willingness to connect to people. He's not an outdoorsy person, but he's like academic.
Yeah,
Like, what do you think?
I think the fact that he's smart, he seems smart because of occupation, like you said, he's academic. But the thing with him that I find interesting is like even though he says he's not outdoorsy, he still had to adapt whenever he came back to America because he came here without his family. I think at like 17, he said it was
I think yeah, 15, 17,
15.
something along those
He
lines.
was in his
As
he was in his
teenager.
teens. Yeah, so
Yeah.
he came here and he came without his family, which is impressive, I think, at that age. So you already had to adapt. So I don't see I don't see how he's gonna have a problem with the outdoors. I don't see how he's gonna have a problem with most of the stuff. I feel like he'll be able to adapt pretty fast.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He's a what I wrote down is like when my impression of him. He's like a New York millennial.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's like everything about him was like just 100% New Yorker. I was like, well, yep, I relate to all this as a New Yorker.
Right. And he says that he doesn't like slow walkers or bigots. So absolute New Yorker in that regard. But he's also very academic. He has he described himself as being like Yule from I can't remember the season name, but Yule won his season. So so if he's anything like Yule, he'll do pretty well. But I feel like the game's changed since Yule's played as well. So I don't know if he can make it as far as he did. But I think his intelligence, and I think he's going to have a very logical way of speaking. I think it could really work well with some of the more logical players on this tribe. And I feel like there's a lot of them on this particular tribe.
Yeah, I agree again. I mean,
All right, there you go.
you know,
Hey, all right, let's go into our yeah. But I think he'll make it. I think he'll make it decently far. I don't think he'll win. I do not see him winning.
I don't
Or
know.
if he does make it to the end, he won't win.
He's also like a really friendly personality. Like nothing about him seemed very anything villain like. I feel like it'd be hard to dislike him.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to dislike him for sure. All right, let's go into our next contestant. We have Jenna Bowman. She lives in Venice Beach. She's an accountant. What was unique about her is that she specifically said that she's not a competitive person, and she's one of the reasons she's doing Survivor is that she wants to challenge herself. I thought that was a rather interesting way of describing it. Not being competitive, I don't know. She seems like someone that's good as like a second person in an alliance, like not a leader. So she's gonna be a follower, but maybe she'll make that big move later on. I don't know, but I see her as more as like a follower in like an alliance.
Oh yeah, 100% she's not a leader, but the thing that I'm thinking, like it just bothers me is like the contradiction we were saying. It's like the contestants who like I want to win. Her reason for being on Survivor, I just want to challenge. I mean, is it a fair reason to be on Survivor? Sure, but it's like I don't know, it just blows my mind anyone who says like I'm not in it for the $1 million because it's like why wouldn't you be? And I have
She
like this
says,
feeling that like she's genuinely in it for the challenge. Like she's
yeah, but
resolved to lose.
right, but and she's not competitive, so it's so weird.
It's another like why are you here?
Yeah, I don't understand. All right, but anyway, she says she doesn't have a filter and she talks a lot. Not a good combination. She
Nope.
says she volunteers a lot for like for some charity stuff, which is that's good. Obviously, she says she doesn't
Man.
like internet trolls, so I feel like it's probably easy to get under her skin, and that could be an issue for her.
I mean, you
Depending
don't have
on
to
the
like
cast.
internet trolls. Just not liking internet trolls doesn't mean that like, you know, I don't know. You could just dislike internet trolls and be like, hey, like it doesn't bother me. I just don't like them.
I like internet trolls. I think they're funny, and when they say stupid things, even we've been trolled before, Dave.
Oh yeah, it's fucking hysterical.
See, it's so funny.
No, it's funny, but like
Uh,
I understand why people don't like it. So it's like I don't see that as like a negative. I just see that as like, well, it doesn't have to be, it's one thing to dislike it, it's another thing to be offended by it.
she says she's creative and open-minded, also outdoorsy, but to me, she seems very millennial-y again. But she is a
I
millennial,
mean,
so it
she's a
makes sense.
millennial.
Yeah, I mean she is.
No,
23.
she fits the millennial stereotype.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna make it that far, but if she does,
Absolutely
it's
not.
because. But if she does, she's because she's following someone in an alliance.
Yeah, pretty much. Like she's not gonna lead anything.
Right.
The only way
That's
I
exactly
could
right.
weirdly see her, I don't know why, I could see her in a scenario where the leader is trying to save themselves, so they make her take charge for a little bit, and then she willingly does it.
That's a very specific scenario.
I know,
I don't.
that was so specific. It was like I had insider information.
Yeah, Dave has inside information, guys. Dave is one of the contestants. Secret
Oh,
21st contestant. All right, let's jump into our next
I'd
contestant.
be more likely to be a production crew.
That's true. That's true. I know
Yeah.
some guy from that was on production crew. This is Laurel Johnson. She is 29 years old. She's from Minneapolis, Minnesota. She's a financial consultant. Now, I loved her. She was fantastic from what I saw. I like wow, but let's jump into it a little bit. So she's a Survivor super fan. She was the first person to actually say that she was a triple threat. But to me, it actually made sense when she said it because she said she's a super fan. She graduated from Yale, and she says she was a Division 1 athlete. That's all pretty triple thready to me,
Triple threat.
but
Yep.
like actually meeting it.
I like her, but the problem I feel like is smart contestants will want to get her out early, and will kind of need to get her out early.
That's true. So hopefully she doesn't show that side of her.
Yeah, because that's the thing with being a
She says
triple
she
threat. It's like it's good, but it's not. It's not safe.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But these are like the players that we want. She said she wants to be remembered, so she's gonna not be afraid of making these big moves. She wants to show her competitive side. She's very into strategy, calculation. So she's going to be like one of those very intelligent, logical players.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it'll just be interesting to see what she does in the end. Because like she's someone who could, I feel like, could cause chaos, but without being a villain.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. She says she doesn't like incompetence. So if someone doesn't like perform well in a challenge, she'll probably like target that person.
I could honestly see her taking a leader role.
It's possible if some other people don't, which there were a few leaders on this job
No,
already.
I could see her fighting for a leader role.
I think because she's a super fan, she knows not to take a leadership role because you don't
I
want to
don't
be a
know,
leader.
but well, I mean, I would agree with that, but at the same time, like, if I feel like with her personality, she might want to. You know, like
Right.
if she's surrounded by people who aren't super fans and she feels that they're incompetent, that maybe she might feel like she can manipulate them.
She said she's very similar to Todd, who won his season, and I very much agree with that. Um, if she plays like Todd, she will do very well, in my estimation. But that could also mean that she wants to be remembered. Yeah, she is like Todd. I see that very clearly. So she's right about that. So hopefully, do you think she's going to get far? I think she's going to go really far.
I think she's gonna get far. She's gonna get far unless smart players take her out quick, but I don't think they're gonna catch on that quickly. I feel like they're gonna need her for the tribe, and then like it's gonna be too late, and she's gonna get a few more weeks in.
Patty says she likes her, but she will go home not winning this game. She's like Zeke with big moves, liking big moves too much. That's definitely possible. She might do something for her resume, to make her
I
go home.
I feel like I'd be surprised if she win, but I feel like if she did win somehow, I wouldn't be disappointed.
Yeah, exactly. She's gonna be the one that you want to win, but maybe won't. But I hope not because she's well. I'll say it now. She's gonna be one of my picks, but we'll get to that later. For now, let's go to our next contestant. We got a girl, Libby Vinsek, or however you pronounce it. Sorry, Libby. She's 24 years old. If you're watching, she's 24, from Houston, Texas. and she's a social media strategist, which I remember you finding interesting.
Yes.
She says she's a Christian girl, very religious, welcoming, bubbly, outgoing. She wants to represent like the country girl in this game, which I think she can probably do. She says she's going to flirt a little bit, which could get her ahead. I mean, I she said that I don't know. What do you think of her?
Well, first off, like you said, like the social media strategies, I find that interesting because I had to do some like that kind of stuff, like a work for like, with movie pilot and stuff like that, like trying to come up with things that like articles and stuff like that that you think are going to like click with an audience. So if you're working on social media strategy, it's like you literally have to study people. You have to study trends. You have to study how people work. It's like study their like not their minds, but like you're breaking it down to groups. And I feel like because you have to break things down into groups and identify people in different ways, I feel like she'll be smart in figuring people out quickly and learning how to adapt to them in the right way. Of course, that's assuming she's good at her job.
That's definitely an assumption. One of the people that she described herself as was Natalie White, which was from Russell Hantz's season, who won. Um, Maybe not because of her gameplay, because of someone else's gameplay, but whatever. But I that's exactly who I thought of when I was watching her video. Like she very country personality, very easygoing, easy to talk to, generally a good person. She says her reason for Survivor is to win $1 million and also to represent the country girl. But the first thing she says was to win $1 million. I think that's very important for her.
That's what they should say.
That is what they should say, honestly.
I do kind of wonder if like they say that because it's like, well, I'm here for the $1 million, so why else am I here? But then
Yeah, I
again, you have other people
guess.
who like, what's your reason to win?
Mm, yeah, fair enough.
So I don't know, but yeah, no, I like the fact that she said to win the $1 million, and that was the first thing.
Yeah, I hope she makes it far. I'm hopeful there. I mean,
I don't know if I
then
want her
again,
to make it far or not because I want to see how she is in early episodes to see if I even want her there, even though I have no control over that, but still.
right. Yeah, that's a good point, or that's a fair statement to make, rather. Um, yeah, I I genuinely don't know. I feel like if she could do like that follower mentality thing that other non-competitive girl was going to utilize,
Yeah, maybe.
which it's a viable strategy to make it to the merge, or to make it
Very.
decently, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yes, we will.
Let's go into our next contestants. We got a boy, Michael Yerger. He is 18 years old, the youngest cast member this season. He's from he lives in Los Angeles. Does real estate. What was interesting is that he says that he's not going to say that he's 18. He's going to say he's like 20 something, I think he
20.
said.
I think he said he was going to say that he was 23.
Right, yeah.
And I felt like I agree with that decision. Like when watching his video, he had like a very like kind of like you said, like he had a very boring voice, which he couldn't do too much about it. But he seemed like mellow and kind of mature in a way, where other cast members who were older than him, which is all of them, but some of them seemed like a lot more immature. And I feel like he could pass as 23, maybe even a little older. And I feel like that was a very smart decision on his part.
That's fair. I mean, I mean, it's like you just said that what I noticed when we were watching the videos. I don't, he's just has such like a boring voice.
But
I
I
didn't
feel
like
like
it. I don't know.
but I feel like that's gonna help him though because he's like
Is it?
he won't be like hated or he won't be memorable, but I shouldn't say memorable. He won't stick out. I don't think he'll stick out in a negative way because of that.
Right, but in some ways, you have to stick out. Like after the merge, you have to stick out. He could be like like a JP, maybe. Like you don't want to be like a JP who doesn't
Yeah,
talk.
yeah, you said that too with him. I could see him going that route, but we'll see. Because
He
I
says he
feel
has
like he might
no.
be. Is he say if he was a super fan at all too?
It doesn't. Well, he knows who Malcolm is, so I take it he at least knows a little Survivor. He
Okay,
says he has no
so
problem
my opinion.
backstabbing people, which is good.
So yeah, so maybe he might just play it low for a little bit and then jump in and start doing stuff like when merge happens or whatever.
Yeah. Says he likes to eat, so maybe we'll have a similar situation from last season.
We'll see.
Hope not. I
Same.
always thought those food scenes were very bizarre and weird and
No,
kind of made me feel
hopefully he doesn't go that far.
kind of made me feel a little uncomfortable. But it is what it is.
I don't deny that.
I think he'll make it decently. Uh, yeah, I think I'll make it decently far, only because he won't stand out like he said. It's whatever. All right, let's go to our next contestant. It's one of Dave's favorites, Stephanie Gonzalez.
This is one of my favorite. Oh yeah, I did say that.
You
I'm
did.
sorry.
She is 26. She's from Ocala, Florida. Graphic sales. What was that? Ocala, Florida. I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure it was Puerto Rico.
Yeah, she was born in Puerto Rico and came
Okay.
to
Yeah,
the
that was
United
that I
States.
found interesting about her. The fact that she said she came to she was from Puerto Rico, came to America. She didn't really speak any English, and then tried to not talk to people until she was able to learn the language.
Right. She said she was like mocked a little bit because of not understanding the language as well.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
She had a meager
I,
upbringing, she said. So because of that, she's thick-skinned, strong-willed, and spontaneous. Well, spontaneous isn't a result of the tough upbringing, but she's also spontaneous in addition to that. So I guess she won't let things get to her head, which is a good thing. Spontaneous
yeah,
it's a good thing to
that's what I
be.
liked. That's what I liked about her is like she was really strong-willed, and she seemed very able to adapt because of the small. I feel like if you're spontaneous, you're able to adapt to things.
Patty says pre-merge. Yeah, maybe. I hope not. I hope not.
I mean, Paul, we keep hoping that a lot of people aren't pre-merge. We're gonna have to start pushing people to the merge. I mean, start pushing people out.
Well, I mean, I think I like this try better than the other one because I said like a lot of those people were going to be pre-jury.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. I guess.
I agree. I like this tribe better than the other one. I mean, there's a couple people I do like on the other tribe though, but
Right. Yeah. Exactly. But I'm just like oh no. Oh, actually, I guess Patty said pre-merge about the last one. She says make the jury for her. Oh, well, there you go. That's fair.
I agree.
Yeah. So she says her hero. She said something about senior surgery technician, which I was like, that has
Yeah,
nothing to do
I
with
don't know,
graphic
but
sales.
I don't. Well, I mean, maybe she just does something else. I mean, the current occupation is probably graphic sales, but maybe she does do other stuff. Like, you don't have to just do graphic sales. I don't even know what graphic sales is.
I
If
don't
someone knows what it is, let me know. I mean,
like
I'll just Google it later.
surgery and graphic sales. Like that's so bizarre. Like to have those two different things are completely different.
Well, I mean, like, I graduated with a film degree and I'm going to EMT school, so
Well, sure, but
I don't know.
you know, not too many people go to school to be to be a surgeon and then end up going into graphic sales.
I don't know.
Anyway, she says she wants to win the million, strong and determined. She described herself as, and I can see that. I know you can too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I have good confidence. I have confidence in her.
I'm pretty confident in her. I remember seeing the video and like being impressed with like everything she was pretty much saying.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. And with that, let's go to our last contestant, who is also named Stephanie. This one is Stephanie Johnson. She is 34, from Chicago, Illinois. She is a yoga instructor. She is a super fan, loud and energetic. She was the other one that said that she was a triple threat, which I was still a little.
I don't understand. I don't even know if she meets any of the qualities. I'm gonna be honest. Like I was not impressed with anything about her.
Well, she meets this. I'm sure she meets the super fan, and I'm sure she meets. I don't know. She said she does Ironman racing, like that was that girl.
I
I don't know
believe,
what
yeah.
I don't know what
I
that
think it was
is.
her.
I
I
don't
don't
know
know,
what that
but
is.
she got to going on about like I just want to wear the bright colors and be known for bright colors, and it's like, okay,
She wants to
I
stand
don't
out.
care.
She's loud and energetic, bubbly soccer mom. I don't think she's gonna make it that far,
Neither do I.
personally.
Just I don't. There's nothing about her that's like stands out in a good way.
Yeah, it's like she's there for the journey, which I can understand.
But I don't.
And
I
just
feel
like
like she's
she's
not gonna get to really go on a journey. You know.
sorry, Stephanie. All right. I guess we'll yeah, we'll call it there for the cast analysis. Now, let's do what we always do. Let's go to who we think is going to win this game. Dave, do you want to go first or should I?
Well, I'm kind of caught between two female contestants,
Oh yeah? Well,
so I'll go. I'll go. What's up?
you go. Okay. So you want me to go first?
Um, no, I mean, I'm not gonna. You can go first. You know what? You can go first.
Okay, sure. So for my female, um where is she now? Yeah, I liked Laurel a lot. Um I think that she's going to make it really far. I think she's very smart. Um I think she's going to use her intelligence to make it extremely far into the game. She has all the skills necessary. I think she's going to make the big moves necessary to make it to the end. I just have a very good sense that she's going to be the winner this season, and I'm really hoping that's the case. So because he's quite the interesting person. I mean, she's quite the interesting person. Uh, so I really get a good sense that she's going to win. And I love strategic players. I just very they're very fun. They're very fun to watch. And if she's anything like Zeke, like what Patty was saying in the chat, I think that even more of a reason. Um, for the other for my guy pick, I'm going to go with my boy Jacob Derwin. I liked him like a lot. The gamer
Which was
side
he
of him.
occupation wise again?
He was a music teacher, but he
Okay,
was also like the gamer guy.
gotcha.
Um, what I particularly liked about him was that he talked about like sense of humor and stuff along those lines. He's like, yeah, I mean, you can't play this game just like all serious all the time. Like sometimes you have to lighten up, and I liked him for that reason. Um, he said, I mean, I don't know if he's gonna win, but maybe I'm just hoping he is because I'm kind of like a hermit sometimes. Well, sometimes,
You just
maybe
wanted
not.
to win because like relatability apparently.
Yeah, I guess so. like, so if I was making it to the if I was to be on Survivor, I would probably be very similar to him. All right, let's go with your picks, Dave.
All right, so my male pick I was pretty much settled on. I forget the name, so please remind me. The gym teacher.
The gym teacher.
Yeah,
Let's find him.
yeah. Like
Oh,
I said, I will know.
was that the 41-year-old Brendan?
I believe so. The Malaho tribe, Lolo tribe,
Yeah, Malolo. That was the
Malolo.
lead. That was the leader type.
Yeah, that was the leader type, and like I know that I said that leaders aren't really, they become targets in the end, but I feel like he's just too competitive that even if they do betray him, I feel like he might just do something crazy, find idols, and he'll find a way to survive and make it all the way through to the end. I feel like it won't even necessarily be their choice. He'll find a way. And the fact that he's a teacher, he's able to read people, I think he'll know when that kind of betrayal is coming. Because, like I said, I don't. Leaders always kind of get thrown under the bus, but they can still survive. And I feel like he knows that, and like he'll make it, and he'll figure it out. So he's my pick to win right now. What's up, Paul? You went dead silent.
That's this guy, right? Brendan Shapiro.
That is correct. That's him.
All right.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's him.
Otherwise,
you'll find me in the comments being like, "Oh, I fucked up."
All right. What about the female? You said you were going between two.
The female, I'm still gonna say that I'm gonna go between two, just because they're on two different tribes. So that's my excuse. I just say between Angela and Stephanie Gonzalez. I feel like again, I'm picking another leader type with Angela, but it's also like the psychological element to it, the whole army, military, she's got enough of a background that Survivor's not the hardest game or hardest thing that she's ever done. And I feel like all the experience that she's had before this, I feel like anyone who's coming in here, she has the most outside of Survivor experience to take on Survivor. So that's why that's why I would pick her. Stephanie Gonzalez she just seems like a fighter, and I feel like the fact that she is a fighter, she dealt with the whole language barrier and all that other stuff, and other thing that I found interesting is that she said she'd be like 1 in like 16 winners, female winners, or something like that. She has the super fan quality as well. So that's why. But now that I'm discussing it, talking it out loud, I'm leaning more towards Angela. So we'll go with Angela. That's my female pick to win. It's been settled now.
All right, fair enough. Actually, Patty just said that her female pick is also Angela.
There we go.
Yeah. So there we go indeed. All right, so I guess we'll call it there.
We can.
Yeah, we can. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy our content. If you enjoy this video, we will be covering the rest of the Survivor episodes as they come about, and many other shows.
And Celebrity Big Brother tomorrow. Well, technically today, depending on where you're watching it.
An Amazing Race tomorrow, probably.
Tomorrow's going to be a busy day.
I want to give a shout out to Patty. Thank you for supporting us as a channel. She's our biggest fan. So thank you so much for all the support.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, and if you want to support us as well, we have our link to our Patreon down below. It's been a little tough on us because of the whole YouTube change recently that you need 1,000 subscribers now to be monetized. Yeah. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe as well. But
exactly, if you can't donate, your subscribing actually helps out a lot.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So please subscribe and give us video a comment on your thoughts on who you thought was going to win.
Let us know your pick, male, female, whoever it is you think could win this game.
Absolutely. All right, so I guess we'll call it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. The season's not going to start for another couple of weeks, but so until then, peace.